So kind of down the list of these are the things that people, the main one, if I had read, because even Graham Stephan, he said, I sold off some of my rentals because I just wasn't getting the return that I could on almost any other thing. He said, but it's been 10 years, 10 years, no rent increases.
Raise the rents, buddy.
Right. So imagine right now, and he even admitted in a comment on your channel saying, yeah, that was my mistake. I should have done that. And you don't have to jack them up a bunch, but you have to consistently, consider inflation and cost of maintenance and repairs and taxes and insurance and those things. And then, who wouldn't lose money right now if you were renting at 2013 rents with 2020 prices on your properties? So of course he can go out and get a savings account at 0.05% interest and make more money. So I think the other thing that popped up a lot, and this was kind of an issue for me in the beginning, but I had a plan for it, was trying to do it all yourself. And it starts before you're even an investor. One of the biggest questions that comes up in these forums is, should I get a realtor license to be an investor? Because then I can search, I can get the commission, No, I'm going to hire a professional. I can go up and put the roof on. My brother roofs his own places. He's crazy, but I'll pay a professional to go up there and do that, right? So if you're handling the maintenance calls, if you're handling the accounting and you're trying to file your taxes without a CPA because $500 to $1,500 is going to break you, the stress of doing it and not knowing if you did it right is going to be more impactful than a $1,500 bill. Get your handyman in place, get your systems in place. I self-manage, and I went to a property in the last year to film a video, to record a video, right? I'd never been in the unit. I was like, oh, the tenant moved out of the area, so I'm going to go do a tenant turnover. I've never been in. I wanted to go see. Found it actually had an extra bedroom I didn't know about, so good. But tenant turnovers, that kind of stuff, even self-managing, it's been 5 years, I think, since I've actually had to go to a property for something I was going to handle. But in the beginning, I would go, and it wasn't this was my plan. I wasn't trying to do it all myself. I wanted to work side by side with a handyman to, one, kind of learn a few things, right? But two, know the scope of a job so that when I get an estimate before I do a project, I know if they're even close to reasonable.
Yeah. So my next one is the debt. I've been doing this 22 years. I've seen dozens and dozens of people bust out, and it will happen again. I'm calling for it in the next 2 years. It's always the debt, whether it's variable rate debt from years gone by to short-term BRRRR debt today. Whether I don't know if people know this, but Freddie Mac just changed the duration for cash out refis. So if you're going to do a BRRRR and you were hoping for a 6-month seasoning, oh, good luck. Now it's 12. That's going to change the numbers. So again, it's always the debt. It's always the debt that blows people out. And this is why I think multifamily is in for so much pain, because the debt, just naturally speaking, for most people is 5-year ARMs. Some people got stupid, 1, 2, 3-year bridge debt with bad assumptions. And I'm just salivating, waiting for these assets to come up, because I got ready. I raised the dry powder. I spent almost 9 months getting all my variable rate debt fixed with non-QM lenders. It's not easy, but I got it done. So, it's always the debt. So what do you got for the final one, Dion?
My final one, I mean, it's the debt makes sense, and it kind of ties into this too, because if you talk to anybody in 2009 or 10 and you go investor or homeowner, why'd you lose the property? Why'd you get out of investing? It would come down to debt. I not only got the adjustable rate, but at that point in time, it was a ninja loan, so they probably shouldn't have borrowed that much. And then they did 104% loan to value so that they could wrap the closing costs in. Like, debt blew up. So I still have I will never touch an adjustable rate mortgage, even if it was a really small part of my portfolio and I was taking a gamble. It's just, I don't want to think about rates in 5 years or 10 years.